All right. So in the previous class, we have seen how to work with variables and data types. How can we define the variables with the data types and a different type of data types we have seen. And in the today's session, we will see operators. So what is basically operator means? Operator basically a symbol which will perform certain operation or which will perform an operation. Okay, for example, let us say we'll have two different variables. Let's say int a equal to 10. This is one variable. Int b equal to 20. This is another variable. A is one variable, b is another variable. Both are having some data. Now, if you want to add these two numbers, what we will do now? We can say a plus b. So when I say a plus b, this will add two numbers, 10 plus 20. Now, once added, the result I will store in another variable. Here I will define one more variable. Let's say int result like this. Now, if I look at this particular simple code, A and B are called variables. A and B are called variables. And here A plus B is called an expression. Okay, A and plus B. Here we are calling as an expression. So what plus is doing here? The plus is adding two numbers, A and B, right? So which is basically called as an operator. Means an operator is a symbol which will perform an operation. That's a simple definition. Operator is a symbol which will perform an operation. There are multiple operators which we have. So plus is a one of the operator. So here plus is one operator which will perform addition of two numbers. And what about this equal to? Equal to is an also an operator. Equal to also one of the operators. So what equal to will do here? Once a plus b is added, the result will be stored into this variable. So who is assigning the result into this variable? Equal to. So equal to is called assignment operator. Okay. So here plus also equal to. So these are all called operators. And what is A and B? Initially, before using this expression, A and B are just variables. Now, once you use those variables inside the expression, we call them as operands. A comma B called as operands. So the variables which are participated inside this expression along with the operators, they are called operands. Okay, so operator means what? It is a symbol which will perform an operation, it can be any type of operation. Here plus is a one of the example. Plus will do the addition operation. Equal to will do the assignment operation. So whatever value we have here, 10 will assign to the A. Who is doing that? Equal to is doing it. Same thing, 20 is assigning into the B. So equal to is doing that, which is also an operator. And here plus is an operator which will perform addition of these two numbers, and storing the result into variable is again by equal to. Equal to will store the result in the result variable. Okay. So operator means a symbol which will perform an operation. The variables which are participate inside this expression, we call them as a operands. Before using here, just they are the variables. But once you started using the variables inside this expressions along with operators, we call it as a operands. Okay. Now in Java, there are various types of operators are provided. So let me just list out here. Types of operators. So to perform any type of operation, we have to use different type of operators. Now, what are the different type of operators provided by Java? There are n number of operators. Mainly, we will use these 6 types of operators very commonly. So the first category, arithmetic operators. There are 5 operators comes under this category. One is plus, minus, star, slash, and percentage. Okay, these are all called arithmetic operators. And relational or comparison operators. Second category, relational or comparison operators. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, double equal to. So these are all comes under relational or comparison operators. Then logical operators, and, or, not. Three operators which are comes under logical operators. And plus plus is called increment operator, minus minus is called decrement operator. I will show you demonstration how can we use these all operators. So plus plus is an increment operator, minus minus is a decrement operator. And equal to is an assignment operator we already discussed, which will assign some data to the variable. So like this, we have some more assignment operators like plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, slash equal to, percentile equal to. These are all assignment, or we can also call as shorthand operators. And conditional or ternary operator, question mark, colon, one operator. Question mark, colon is one single operator, which is conditional or ternary operator. So total, these are the 6 type of operators which we are going to discuss. So first thing, let us start with arithmetic operators. Let's go to Eclipse and go to our project. So let's create a new package for today. I can create, right click on SRC, new package. I say day 3, click on finish. So now we created a new package. So inside this, I'm going to create a new class. Whenever you start writing a new Java program, you must create a class. So how to create a class? You can simply provide the name. So here I'm giving some name, operators demo. And also I'm taking main method here, select the checkbox and say finish. Now, so which is created a new class, and this is the main method. So inside this block, we have to write our Java code. So inside this block, we have to write a Java code. Now, the first thing, arithmetic operators. So how to use this arithmetic operators? So let us take two variables. So mainly arithmetic operators works on numbers or numeric type of data. So if you have integers, or if you have a float, or if you have a double. So if you have a numeric data, these operators will work. So arithmetic operators basically we use to perform arithmetic calculations. So what are the arithmetic calculations? Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, modulo division. So these are all basic arithmetic operations. So to perform these operations, we have to use these symbols, and we need a numeric type of data. Okay, so these operators works only on the numeric type of data, means all integers, float, double, and so on. So let me take two integer variables here. I can take int a equal to 10, int b equal to, or you can directly say b equal to 20. So because a and b are both are same data type, I can just specify only once, int a 10, b 20. So two variables I have created. Now I will apply these operators on these two values. So what I will do is I can directly write system.out.println, and simply I can say a plus b. So when I say a plus b, plus will perform the arithmetic operations. When I say a plus b, it will perform addition of two numbers, 10 plus 20, which is 30. Now I want to write simple a meaningful message here. I can say sum of a and b is. So how to concatenate this? This is a string. Whatever we put in the double quotation, that will be printed as it is in the console window. And a plus b is an expression which will perform addition operation. So how to concatenate these two? We can put this a plus b in the bracket and then concatenate. So here plus is acting as a two different things. One is a concatenation, other one is addition. So when I use plus operator between two numbers, it will perform addition operation. When I use plus operator between two strings, it will perform the concatenation operation. Or if I use plus operator between a string and a number, then also it will perform the concatenation operation. And if I look at here, this is a string and this will return the number. After addition, it will return the number. So between this, I'm using plus operator, means it will perform the concatenation. So when I execute this, this will print a meaningful message. So sum of a and b is 30. So like this, let us try to use other operators, other arithmetic operations. So here, this is a difference. So subtraction, how can we do this? So higher value is B, right? So I can say, or else I can take A20 and B10. Okay, so here I can say A minus B. A minus B. So this is the expression. A minus B is the expression. This will perform subtraction. And the result will be concatenated with the string. So difference of A and B is A minus B. And then multiplication. So multiplication. So multiplication of A and B is A star B. Star is representing multiplication. So whenever you want to multiply, you can use star symbol. And again, plus is for just concatenation. Now, division. Division of A and B is A. I can say A is slash B. Slash is a division operator. And there is one more operator which we have, modulo division. Modulo division means what? Percentile. A percentile. B is a modulo division. So here we need to understand what is the difference between division and modulo division, slash and percentile. So slash operator will return the quotient value after division. For example, let's say 5 divided by 2, 5 percentile 2. So here I'm using two different operators. So it will perform the division, like 2 2s are 4 and 1 is a remainder, right? So when I use slash operator, this will return the quotient value, which is 2. When I use percentile operator, this will return the remainder value. So this is 1. Okay. So both are division operators, but the slash will return the quotient value, whereas percentile will return the remainder value. Okay. Division and modulo division. And again, we already know multiplication, subtraction, and then addition. So these are the basic arithmetic operators. Now let us try to execute, run as Java application. So now we can see the result here. So this is how we can get all the results. So here I am not storing the result in any other variables. I'm just directly doing the arithmetic operations, and then I'm directly keeping inside the print statement. Suppose if you want to store the result in some variable, okay, then what you can do, for example, here I'm taking one more variable called int result equal to A plus B. And then you can use this variable directly here. Instead of printing A plus B, you can directly print result. So here you can just concatenation result. So this is another way. Suppose if you want to store a result in some particular variable, you take another variable. So what you can do is you can store A plus B value in the result variable. And what is the type of this variable? Again, integer, because A plus B will return the number, which is integer. So result also should be integer type. And once you hold that result in a variable, then you can print this variable. So this is also another way. And if you don't want to use any other variable, then you can directly put this expression inside the printer. Instead of writing result, you can just directly say A plus B. So this is also fine. You can put the result in another variable and print that variable, or you can directly write an expression inside the print statement. You will get the same output. Okay. So this is all about arithmetic operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo division. And now we have another type of operator, relational or comparison operators. And these operators especially we use to compare the values. And most important, especially when you're working with the conditional statement, looping statements, we frequently use these operators. So relational and comparison operators. So let us see how to use this relational or comparison operators. Next, relational or comparison operators. So greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, this is not equal to, and double equal. So these are all comes under relational or comparison operators. Now here, all relational or comparison operators will return a Boolean value. Remember this. Always returns a Boolean value. Boolean value means what? Yesterday we discussed. What is Boolean value? What is Boolean value? Boolean means what? Yes, either true or false. It can be true or it can be false, which is called as Boolean value. So when I use relational operator or comparison operator, that will return either true or false. Okay. For example, here I'm simply saying system.out.println A greater than B. So greater than is what? Relational or comparison operator. So what this greater than will do? The greater than will compare A with B. Now what is the value of A here? 20. What is the value of B? 10. 20 greater than 10. True or false? 20 greater than 10. True or false? True. Right? True. So this expression will just print true. That means the greater than symbol compare the two values and it can return either true or false. Okay, suppose I'm writing the same statement like this. A less than B. Less than. A less than B. A value is 20. B value is 10. So 20 less than 10. Is it true or false? It is false because 20 less than 10, which is false. So this expression will return false. Okay, let's try. So all relational operators or comparison operators will return true or false. Basically, they will return the Boolean values, true or false. Okay. And similarly, we can also use other operators. Let's say system.out.println. And here I say A greater than or equal to B. Now tell me what is this expression will return? A greater than or equal to B. So actually there are two comparisons here. One is greater than, one is equal to. What does it mean? So when this expression will return true in two cases. One is A should be greater than B. In that case, it will return true. Another case is what? A should be equal to B. If A and B values are equal, then also it will return true. That's the reason greater than or equal to. Two comparisons. A should be either greater than B or A should be equal to B. So one of the conditions should be satisfied. So then only it will return true. Now, according to our values, A is 20, B is 10. 20 greater than or equal to 10. True or false? True or false? 20 greater than or equal to 10. True or false? True. Why? Because greater than condition is true. Greater than is satisfied, right? 20 greater than B. Even though they are not equal, still A is greater than B, true. Right? Similarly, here, I will write like this. A less than or equal to B. True or false? A less than B, less than. False, right? Because A is 20, B is 10. So 20 less than 10 is false. So whenever it becomes false, then it will check another condition, equal to. A equal to B or not? No. A also not equal to B. So obviously it will return false. This will return false. So two conditions or two comparisons are inclusive here. So you can say this is the true and this is a false. So now what I will do is I will make B value also 20. So initially B value is what? 10. Now I'm making as a 20. Should I define the data type? Should I specify the data type here? Is it really need data type here? Should I define data type? Not needed, right? Why? Because B is already created with the integer type here. We already specified B as an integer type. So next time when you're referring the B or next time when you are changing the value of the B, you no need to specify the data type again because this is the duplicated. It will give you an error. It is clearly saying duplicate local variable B. So you no need to specify the data type. Just reuse the variable and just change the value. Initially 10, now it becomes 20. Now, after changing this value, I can simply say A greater than or equal, less than or equal to B, and also I will write A greater than or equal to B. Now tell me what is an output of these two expressions? A less than or equal to B, A greater than or equal to B. What is an output of these two statements? Obviously, true. Why they are true? Why? Because it will first check the less than condition. A less than B, true or false? False. Then it will check equality. A equal B are true or false? True. So obviously it will return true. That means either less than or equal to. One of them should satisfy. Now if you come to the second expression, A greater than B. A greater than B. False. A is not greater than B. But A equal to B. True. So it is finally written true. Okay, so two comparisons are here. If first one is not matching, then it will go to the second one. If first one is not satisfying, then compare with the second one. Okay, so less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Now when I run this, these two expressions will finally return true and true. So all relational or comparison operators are returning a Boolean values that you have to notice here. True or false, nothing else. Only true or false is returning, right? Now we say not equal to, equal to. So for example, let's say system.out.println, and I can say A not equal to B. What does this mean? What is an output of this? A not equal to B. I'm clearly saying A not equal to B, true or false. So currently A and B values are same. But here what I'm expecting, not equal to B. So obviously what happens? This will return false because A not equal to B, false. Why? Because A and B are not equal. It's equal actually. A value 20, B value 20, both are equal. But here I'm expecting not equal. So it is obviously written false. But if the same statement, if you write like this, A equal to B, A equal to B. Now tell me what is the, guys, can you see my screen? The font is visible to everyone. Can you please confirm? Otherwise, I'll just try to increase somehow. Okay, let me try to increase a little bit. Okay, it's too much larger actually. Okay, now I think it is fine. Okay, so now you can see A equal to B. Now A value is a 10, A value is a 20, and B value is also 20. A value 20, B value is also 20. Now what is an output of this expression? A equal to B. Obviously it is true because the values are same. I'm expecting double equal. So when I run this, this will give you false and true. Okay. So if I notice here, all relational or comparison operators will return a Boolean value. That means a true or false. Okay. Suppose I want to store the result in some variable. I want to store some variable in a variable. For example, here I say A greater than B. This is my expression. And I want to store result in a variable. Let's say result. Because result variable we already define as an integer here. But here I'm taking res. Now tell me what is the type of this variable? So A greater than B will return either true or false. A Boolean value will be returned. Now when I store that value in a variable, what is the type of this variable? Obviously, what type of variable it should be? We are storing a Boolean value into the variable. Remember this. We are not storing number. We are not storing integer. But in the previous example, A plus B will return the integer. 20 plus 10 return the integer. So this variable should be integer. But here A greater than B will return the Boolean value. So this variable should be what? Boolean type of variable. Okay. And after that, you can just print result. So like this, you can directly put expressions inside the print statements, or else you can store the result in another variable and then you can print that variable. So either way you can do it. Okay, so this is returning false. A greater than B is false because we already changed the value here. Okay, so this is all about relational or comparison operators. So what these operators will do, these operators will compare two values. It will compare two values and returns a Boolean value, either true or false. Now, similarly, we also have something called logical operators, the next category. Very important, listen carefully, because in the next topic, conditional statements, looping statement, when I discussing those topics, these operators are very useful. So logical operators, and or not. So these three are called logical operators. And the logical operators also always returns a Boolean value. Returns Boolean value. So Boolean value means again true or false. So logical operators also always returns a Boolean value, true or false. But what is the difference between relational and logical operators? So relational operators, we can use only between two variables. If I look at here, these operators will work between two variables, A and B. And these two variables can be any data type. It can be numeric, it can be string, it can be character, whatever it is. So these relational operators we can use in all kinds of data types. But logical operators, we can use only Boolean data types. We can use only Boolean data types. That means we need a Boolean variables. Between these Boolean variables, we can use logical operators. So before discussing this and or not, so let me just give you a simple table so that you can easily understand when these operators will return true, when these operators return false. So as I said, the logical operators works between two Boolean variables. This is a fundamental point. Works between two Boolean values or variables, anything. Okay, so how it will work, let me show you. Simple, I'll take a small table in Excel sheet. So let us try to understand how exactly the logical operator works. Let me increase the font. Okay, so here I'm taking some variable called x and y. X and y, logical operator, x and y. X or y, not x, not y. Okay, and or not. So this is both are same actually. You can just remember this. And here I'm taking different combinations. So and or not. So these three operators works between two Boolean variables. So x and y are the Boolean variables. Okay. Now here I'm taking four different combinations. Just observe. Okay. So now x value, let us assume it is a true. Y value is also true. X value true. Y value is false. X value false. And y value true. Now x value false and y value also false. Y value also false. Let us take a different combinations of data. So x and y are the Boolean variables. Boolean variables means what? Which contains only Boolean values, either true or false. Now AND operator. So as I said, AND or not. So these operators also will return a Boolean value, true or false. But when the AND operator will return true, x and y. I'm using this operator between two variables. X and y are what? Boolean variables. Here also Boolean variable. Here also x is a Boolean variable. So the logical operators works between a Boolean values or Boolean variables. Now if you look at here, AND operator will return true only if x and y are true. Okay, so here X and Y are true. So X and Y will return true. So both are true here. X should be true, Y also should be true. Then only AND operator will return true. In all other cases, it will return false. In all other cases, it will return false. That is the behavior of AND operator. So only one case, it will return true, and rest of the cases, it will return false. So AND means what? X and Y both should be true. Then only it will return true. Even one of them is false, it will return false. In the second case, Y is false. Third case, X is false. In the last case, both are false. So it will return false. Only in one case, it will return true. When it will return true, if both values are true, then only AND operator will return true. Now come to the OR. OR means either X or Y. At least one should be true. Then it will return true. For example, in the first case, both are true. So obviously it will return true. In the second case, X is true. Even though Y is false, fine. X is true. So it will also return true. In the third case, Y is true. So it will return true. Only in the last case, both are false. So here it will return false. So in three different cases, it will return true. Only in one case, it will return false. So how exactly this OR operator works? OR means either X or Y. One should be true. At least one should be true. Then only it will return true. In all three cases, either X or Y, one of it is true. So it returns true. Only in the one case, both are false. So it is returning false. That is OR operator. Now, not means negation, opposite. So X value is a true. Obviously, not X value should be false. And X value is false. Obviously, not X value will be true. Negation. Okay. And or not. So these three are called logical operators. And these logical operators we can use between two Boolean values. Two Boolean values. That is a major difference between relational and logical operators. Both are comparison. So relational operators also we can use it for comparison. Logical operators also we can use it for comparison. But the difference is relational operators we will use for any type of data. But logical operators we will use only Boolean type of data. Now, this is a simple table you can easily understand. So not X is an opposite. For example, X value is a true. Not X value should become false. Suppose X value is equal to false, then not X value becomes true, like this. So the opposite of X. For example, let's say I'm taking one more. Let's say not Y. Okay, not Y. Now you can just tell me I'm taking not Y. So here Y value is equal to, here Y value true. And what could be the not Y value? If the Y value is equal to true, not Y becomes false, opposite. So if the Y value is equal to false, here Y value is equal to false, then not Y is equal to true, opposite. Okay, only one single operator, not. Not means negation. Okay, so simply remember this table, you can easily understand. So I'll keep this table here. So these are the logical operators. Okay, now, so let us see practical example. How can we use this logical operators? Now go to Eclipse and so logical operators, only three operators, and, or, not. And logical operators always returns either true or false. And it works between two Boolean values. Two Boolean values. Now I'm taking simple example. I will define two variables, which are Boolean type of variables. Let me take Boolean X. I'll make it as a true. Boolean Y. I'll make it as a false. Boolean X equal to true, Y equal to false. Because logical operators works between two Boolean variables. X is Boolean variable. The value of X is true. The value of Y is false. Now you tell me the output for this. System.out.println. I can say X and Y. Now what is an output of this statement? X and Y. AND operator I'm using. True or false? Obviously, it is false. Why it is false? Because AND operator will return true only if both are true. But here, only X is true, Y is false. So it will return false. Now, instead of AND, I'm trying to use OR operator. OR. Now, what is a return type? OR means double pipe. You can see pipe symbol on your keyboard. You have to type 2 times. And what is output of this statement? True or false? This is true. Why? Because X or. OR means either at least one should be true, either X or Y. Even one it is true, that is final result is true. So in this, X value is a true. So the result is true. Now you can say not X. What is an output of not X? And what is an output of not Y? Not X and not Y. X value is a true. So not X value should be obviously false. And Y value is a false. So not Y value is obviously true. Right? So this is how we can simply use logical operators between two Boolean variables. Now we can see here the last 4 values. False, true, false, true. Okay. Now I'm going to show you some more examples on Boolean data types. Now just observe. You guys can tell me the output. Here I'm creating one Boolean variable. Let's say Boolean B1 equal to 10 greater than 20. Is this statement correct or not? Can we write statement like this? Boolean B1 equal to 10 greater than 20. Valid or not? This statement is valid or not? Please respond. Is this statement valid or not? Boolean B1 equal to 10 greater than 20. Is the statement valid or not? Yes, it is valid statement. Why? Because 10 greater than 20 will return true or false because we are using relational operator. So greater than will compare the two values and return the Boolean value. So 10 greater than 20 will return true or false. That I'm going to store in another Boolean variable. So this expression is valid. Okay. Now here I'm just trying to print B1. So what is an output you will get here? True or false? False, right? Because 10 is not greater than 20. So 10 greater than 20 is false. So B1 value obviously false. Now I'm taking one more variable, Boolean B2. And here I say 20 greater than 10. 20 greater than 10. Now after that, I'm trying to print B2. Now what is an output of this, true or false? This is true because 20 greater than 10, which is true and will be stored in B2. Now I can say B2. This is returning true. Okay. Now you tell me this output. System.out.println. B1 and B2 are Boolean variables or not? Yes, they are Boolean variables, right? B1 is a Boolean variable. B2 is also Boolean variable. Now, can I use logical operators between this B1 and B2? Yes, we can use. Now I can say B1 and B2. What is an output of this? What is B1? B1 contains what? A Boolean value. False it is returning, right? And what is B2 contains? B2 is also a Boolean variable, which is having true. So B1 is false. B2 is a true. Now what is the output of this? AND operator will return false. Because only one value is true. The second one is false. So obviously it returns false. And now if I say B1 or B2, then it will return true because we are using OR operator. So OR operator will return true if at least one value is true. So B1, B2, in B1 and B2, B2 is true. So obviously it will return true. So we can also use these logical operators between two Boolean values. And these Boolean values variables can get the output from different type of expressions. Okay. Now I'm going to write one simple expression. First of all, let's run this. So the last two, false and true, we are expecting. So this is false and true. Okay. Now you guys can tell me whether this is valid or not. So in the first expression, I can say 10 less than 20. And in the second expression, I'll say 20 greater than 10. Now tell me what is an output of, first of all, tell me it is valid or not. This statement is valid or not. Can we write the statement like this? So can we write the statement like this, first of all? I haven't used any variables in this. I haven't used any Boolean variables. I've directly written the expression. If I look at this particular expression will return true or false. 10 less than 20, true. And this will return true or false. 20 greater than 10, true. So this is true and this is also true. So I'm using AND operator between two Boolean values. So this is true, this is also true. True and true means the output is obviously true. So you can write expressions in different ways by using relational and logical operators. So this is the combination of relational and logical operators. Okay, so we can also combine relational and logical operators according to our requirement. So now you understood relational operators and logical operators, how to use relational operators and how to use logical operators. So the major difference is relational or comparison operators we can use with any data types, but logical operators we can use only with the Boolean data types. Okay. Now, so let us move on to the next one. Increment and decrement operators. So these are most important Java specific operators. So before going to them, so are you guys clear so far? These three operators, arithmetic, relational, and logical operators. Everyone, please confirm in the chart window. Arithmetic, relational, logical operators. Okay. So now let us move on to the next one. So these three are special type of operators. So mostly everybody is aware of these operators, but these are little different type of operators. Yes, you can also use relational operators with a string data type. Yes, you can use. So that though in that case, these operators will compare the alphabets. So every alphabet is having some ASCII value internally. So for example, if I take A, the ASCII value of A is 76 or 77. So like this, for every character in your keyboard, there is a ASCII character internally, it will maintain. So when you compare, when I use these operators, relational operators between the strings, basically it will internally compare the ASCII characters. And accordingly, it will return true or false. Okay. Fine. So now let us try to understand another type of operators. So anyway, I'm going to share this one, right? So all the class demos. So I think I no need to copy these programs in the notepad. I think because I'm directly sharing these files. Yesterday also I have already shared these files. I think you guys have noticed this. So I think this is not needed. Copy the entire program in the notepad is unnecessary. Increase the content, not needed. Okay, because these programs anyway, I'm sharing them so differently and as a different files you will get. Open the files and you can see them. Right. So now let us move on to the next one. Increment and decrement operators. Most important, listen very carefully. Increment, plus plus is called increment operator, minus minus is called decrement operator. Okay, guys, so this is not a final notes case. Okay, I will also share some of the documents, PPTs and so on. So once you finish the Java sessions, and at the end of the Java sessions, I will give you one PPT presentation and study material. So which contains everything, all the notes, whatever we're discussing during the session, everything will be part of that notes, PPTs, but not now, after completion of Java sessions, so that you can see every concept in that notes and document. So that will be very, very useful. So don't think this is the final one. Okay. Fine. So now let us see how to use increment and decrement. So plus plus is called increment operator Minus minus is called decrement operator. Plus plus is called increment operator. Minus minus is called decrement operator. First, let us discuss about plus plus, increment operator, how to use increment operator. And let us create new class. I will name it as increment operator, taking main method. So in this, just observe how can we use increment operator first. So here, plus plus is basically called as increment operator. Plus plus is called increment operator. Okay. Suppose I'm taking one variable here, int a equal to 10. In a is an integer variable which is having 10. Now, if I print a value, simply I can say a. In the print statement, I can print a. So obviously this will print the value of a, which is 10. Perfect. Now, after printing this a value, I want to increase the a value by 1. I want to increase the a value by 1. So normally how we will write an expression? If I want to increase the a value by 1, initial value is 10. Now I want to add plus 1. So normally how we can create without using increment or nothing, just normal expression. A equal to a plus 1. This is a normal expression. No, I'm not asking to assign the data. If you say a equal to 11, this is also correct. But what you are doing here is the old value is replacing with the new value. 10 is already gone. Now a becomes 11. I'm not asking to assign the new value. I'm asking to increase the existing value. That means a plus 1. When I say a plus 1, what will happen? What is the current value of a? 10. 10 plus 1 is what? 11. That 11 will be assigned to the a. Again, previously a value is 10. Now a value becomes 11. So when you print this a value one more time, this time it will give you 11. Right? This is how we can increment value by 1. We can simply say a equal to a plus 1. So a current value of a is 10. 10 plus 1, 11. 11 is the new value. That again reassigning to the same variable. Whatever variable we are using here, after adding 1, we are reassigning the result into the same variable. So initially a value is a 10. After adding by 1, it becomes 11. So this is the normal way we can increment a value for a variable. Instead of writing this variable 2 times, you can say a equal to a plus 1, right? You can simply write one single statement, which is a plus plus. So you can simply say a plus plus. I can say a plus plus. That's it. This is exactly equal to a equal to a plus 1. I commented the statement. A plus plus is exactly equal to a equal to a plus 1. So whenever you want to increase value by 1, you can simply use plus plus operator. So when I execute this time also you will get the same thing. Now we can say 11. So a plus plus means it is incremented a value by 1. So when I print a value after a plus plus, you will get 11. So this is exactly equal to a plus 1. This is a shortcut. In Java, it is supported increment operators. Instead of writing the entire expression, we can simply write a plus plus. Okay. Plus plus is an increment operator, which we can use to increment the value by 1. Now, in increment operator, we have two different aspects. One is pre-increment, other one is post-increment. Pre-increment and post-increment. Just observe this. So this is one case. This is one example. Case 1, we can call it as let's say case 1. Instead of a equal to a plus 1, I'm directly using a plus plus. So which is also incremented value by 1 and this got printed. Now, let me show you another case. Let's comment this. Just observe this. In interview perspective, these are most important. Just observe this. Case 2. Here, again, I'm taking same variable int a equal to 10. Int a equal to 10. A plus plus. So a plus plus, this will increase a value by 1. right? A value becomes 11. Now I will store that result in another variable. Let's take one more variable like this. So a equal to 10, a plus plus will become 11, and that I'm storing into result. After that, I'm printing the result value. Is this clear or not? Is it valid or not? Can we do like this? A plus plus will increment the a value by 1, right? 11, it becomes 11. That I'm going to store in a variable, and that I'm going to print. So what is the value you are expecting here? What is an output of this statement? What is the output of this statement? 11, right? So when I run this code, just see, it is still 10. It is still 10. Why is it so? What happened here? So when incrementing this value a plus plus, it should become 11, right? So the 11 should be assigned to the result and it should get 11 here. But instead of 11, still we are getting 10 only. But when I use this a plus plus in the previous case here, we are getting the incremented value. So here we got a 10 and after incrementation, we got 11. But what is the difference you have noticed here? Previous case and current case. In the previous case, after incrementation, we are directly printing the a value. But in this case, after incrementation, we are storing the incremented value in the variable and then we are printing the variable. That's the only one difference you can notice. But still, it should print 11. But why it is printing 10? So normally what happens is, even though it is got printed 10, whether it is incremented or not, first of all, if you look at the result, it seems it is not incremented, right? But it is incremented. A value is got incremented. Even though we are not getting here, still it is incremented. But why we are not getting the incremented value? So there is a reason for that. So whenever you are storing the incremented value in a variable, what exactly happening here is, what is the current value of A? 10, right? So the 10 will assign to the result first. After assignment, incrementation will happen. So after assignment, incrementation will happen. Okay. So assignment is happened. So result value becomes what? 10. After assignment, then incrementation is happened. So the result value still it is 10 only. Why? Because a value is directly assigned to the result. After assignment, then incrementation is happened. How we will know incrementation is happened or not? You can directly print a value. Then you will know exactly whether incrementation is happened or not. So if I print a value, obviously you will get 11. You will get 11. Incremented, right? By seeing the statement, we understood a value is incremented. But why it is not printed here? Because the way of execution is totally different. So how it is got executing this expression? When I store this value in a variable, first a value directly assigned to the variable. After assignment, then incrementation is happened. So after assignment, if I print result, still we are getting 10 here. And if I print a value, here we are getting 11. So this type of expression is called post increment. Post increment. Post increment means what? First assignment will happen, then incrementation is happened. Post increment. So first assignment is happened, then incrementation is happened. That is the reason still we are getting result value is 10. So is this clear, everyone? So why we are getting the same value again after incrementation? Okay, so this is called post incrementation. This is called post increment operator or post incrementation. Post increment operator. Okay, now let me show you another case. I hope this case 2 is very clear to everyone. So when I say a plus plus, what is happening? First, a value is directly assigned to the result. And after that, it is incrementing. So result value still remains 10 only. Right. So now let me show you the same expression. Let us say case 3. Okay, let me comment this. Right. So case 3. Now just observe this. In the case 3, again, I'm taking the same variable instead of a plus plus, I will do plus plus a. I'm just keeping those plus plus before the variable. So result equal to plus plus a. Result equal to plus plus a. Now just try to remove this. Now, what is an output of these results? What is an output you are expecting here? 10 or 11? So instead of a plus plus, I have written plus plus a. So plus plus a is called pre-increment operator. So this is called pre-increment. Pre-increment. When I use plus plus operator after the variable, which is called post-increment. When I use plus plus operator before the variable, we can call it as a pre-increment. So this time, when you run this code, you will get a result 11. So even though if you print the value of a directly, you can just see the value still 11. So for both, we are getting the 11. So how it is getting 11 here? How the expression is executing? So what is the difference between post increment and pre-increment? Both are incrementation operators, but what is the major difference? In the pre-increment, what is happening? First, it will increment that value. After that, assignment will happen. In the post increment, first assignment will happen. After that, incrementation will happen. But in the pre-increment, first incrementation will happen. After that, assignment will happen. So accordingly, if I look at here, first plus plus a means it is already incremented, becomes 11. Now 11 is assigned to the result. So when I print the result, we got the 11. And again, a is already incremented. So when I print a value also, we will get the same result. Okay. So this is a major difference between post increment and then pre-increment. Both are increment operators. In both the cases, when I say a plus plus or plus plus a, both the cases, the value will be incremented by 1. But when you store the result in another variable, there is a difference in the pre-increment and post-increment. So, okay, so in the pre-increment, in the post-increment, first the variable value will directly assign to the variable, then incrementation will happen. In the pre-increment, first incrementation will happen, and after that assignment will happen. So that's the reason we are getting the right value here. But here, first the value directly assigned to the variable, we are getting result value still 10. So everyone is understood this, please confirm in the chat window. Increment operator, post increment, pre-increment, post increment, pre-increment operators. Okay. Now, the same thing is applicable for decrement operator also. Minus minus. If you want to decrease the value by 1, then we use decrement operator. So plus plus is for incrementing value by 1. Minus minus is for decrementing the value by 1. Okay. Let's see one more example for decrement operator. Let me close this. So let's create a new class. I'll name it as decrement operator. Take main method as a finish. Okay, so same cases, again we will see. The first case, it's normal. Let me take variable int a equal to 10. Okay, so normally if you want to decrease the value by 1, so what you will do? A equal to a minus 1. This is a normal expression. So system.out.println, if I print a value, what is an output of this statement? A equal to a minus 1. So current value of a is what? 10. 10 minus 1, 9. So 9 again reassigned to the a. Now the current value of a is what? 9. So this is a normal expression. We got a 9. Same thing we can write by using minus minus. You can say a minus minus. So this is exactly the same as a equal to a minus 1. So when you run this, this will give you same value, 9. So this is normal case. Now we will see decrement, pre-decrement and post-decrement. So we are not increasing the value here. We are trying to decrease the value. Okay, a minus minus means it will decrease the value by 1. So it becomes 9. Initially a value 10, now it becomes 9. So this is a normal way we can do. Now let's see the pre-decrement and post-decrement, or post-decrement and pre-decrement. Just observe this. Same. A equal to int A equal to, let's make 100. Okay, now I can say A minus minus, and that I can store in a result. A minus minus, the result I will store in the result variable, and then I'm printing the result value here. And after that, I'm trying to print A value also. Now tell me the output of the first statement and second statement. 100 or 99, which one you will get here? When I print result, you will still get 100. Here, 99. So how? Because it is a post-decrement. Post-decrement means what? What is a post-decrement? Post-decrement was first the value will assign to the variable, and then decrementation will happen. So what is the current value of A? 100. So 100 will assign to the result. So here we got 100. After assigning, then decrementation is happen. Now A becomes 99. So when I print A value, you will get a 99. So same formula it is also applicable here. So this is post-decrement. First assignment happen and then decrementation will happen. So 190. And now we'll see the pre-decrement. Another case. So just commenting this. Now case 3. Same thing, but instead of A minus minus, I can say minus minus A. Minus minus. So pre-decrement. Now tell me the output of this. First statement and second statement. So now first statement obviously 19 and second one is also 19. Because first it will decrement happens, and once it is decremented, then assignment will happen. This is called pre-decrement. Pre-decrement. And here this is post-decrement. Okay, so now we got a both 99. So this is called increment and decrement operators. Plus plus, minus minus. Again in the plus plus we have a post-decrement and pre-decrement. In minus minus, sorry, post-increment and pre-increment. In minus minus we have a post-decrement and a pre-decrement. Okay, so clear everyone? Increment and decrement operators. Now, so let us see the assignment operators. So far, by using increment and decrement operators, we are able to increase value only by 1, or we are able to decrease a value only by 1, right? But sometimes if you want to increase value more than 1, or if you want to decrease a value more than 1, then how can we achieve this? So plus plus will perform addition, right? Plus plus will increment the value by 1, minus minus will decrement the value by 1, only 1. But I want to increase a value by 5, or I want to increase a value by 10. Similarly, I want to decrease a value by 5, I want to decrease a value by 10. So how it is possible? So we can use shorthand operators. So these operators we can use. So these are the operators we can use. So let me show you how can we use these operators. Okay, we can call it as assignment operators. So let me create a new class. Yes, because these are arithmetic related operations, right? Because plus, minus, subtractions, these are all related to numbers. So only arithmetic operators we can do it. So how can we increase the characters? How can we increase the characters and string? It doesn't make any sense, right? So only for numbers, these operators will work. Okay, so now we'll see assignment operators. Equal is the first most assignment operator that we will assign the value to the variable. And other than equal to, we also have some more types of operator. We also call them as a shorthand operators. Okay, let me show you something here. So what are the assignment operators which we have? These are all assignment operators. These are all assignment operators. Equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, slash equal to, modulo division equal to. It's very simple, I'll tell you. So I can say int a equal to 10. I want to increase a value by 1. So normally how we will write a equal to a plus 1 or a plus plus. But this time I want to increase a value by 5. A value I want to increase by 5. So normally how we will write an expression? A equal to a plus 5. Right? So after that, if you print a value, then you will get a 15 because initial value of a is a 10. Now here we are adding 5, a plus 5, 10 plus 5, 15 again reassigned to the a. Now we got a 15 here. So here what we are doing basically, we are increasing a value more than 1. If it is a 1, we can directly use increment operator, plus plus. But here, if you want to increase more than 1, you can write expression like this, or in short way, we can write a plus equal to 5. This is called shorthand assignment operator. A plus equal to 5. You don't need to write variables multiple times. Simply you can say a plus equal to 5. Plus equal to. So this operator will increase a value by 5. So this will also gives you the same result, 15. Okay. So this is a way we can increase value more than 1. Okay. Suppose I want to decrease the value by 1. So this is for incrementation. Now I want to decrease the a value by 5. Decrease. Then how can we write an expression? A equal to a minus 5. A equal to a minus 5. So a value, current value of a is 10. 10 minus 5, 5. So the current value of a becomes 5. So when I execute this, you will get a 5 because we decrease a value by 5. Same expression you can write like this. You can say a minus equal to 5. So not only 5, you can use any number. A minus equal to 5. This is another shorthand assignment operator. A minus equal to 5. So this will reduce the value by 1. So now we will get a 5. Same expression. You can write like this. A equal to a plus 5. You can directly shortcut. You can write a plus equal to 5. Or you can write a minus equal to 5. Okay. So this is a plus equal to and also minus equal to. So star equal to slash equal to modulo division. So how can we use these operators? So just observe this. So this is the one example. Let's comment this first. And at the time of practicing, you can just remove the comments and do practice. Okay, now say example 2. So when I say int a equal to 10, now I want to multiply this a. Okay, let's say a equal to a star 2. A equal to a into 2. So when I print a value, what is an output of this statement? What's an output of this statement? A star 2, 20, right? So because current value of a is 10, 10 into 20, 10 into 2, 20. 20 will again reassign to the a. Now here we will get a 20 as an output. So this is our expected normal expression. A equal to a star. Okay, so instead of writing two variables, you can simply, in shortcut, you can write like this. A star equal to 2. A star equal to 2. So A is multiplying with the 2 and again reassign the new value into the same variable. So this is another shortcut way. A star equal to 2. Now we got it 20. So this is exactly the same as this one. Similarly, slash equal to modulo division equal to same thing. So let's say example 3. Okay, so I can say int a equal to 10. And now I can say if you divide this a by 2, how can we divide? A equal to a slash 2. This is how we can do, right? A equal to a slash 2. A value 10, 10 by 2, 5. So what is an output you are getting here? If I print a value, what is an output of this? So here 10, a value 10, 10 divided by 2. What is an output? Slash. Slash operator will return the quotient value, which is 5. So this is division operator. And instead of writing a equal to a slash 2, in shortcut, we can simply write a slash equal to 2. Shorthand operator. This will also gives the same result. Fine. Okay. Same thing you can apply for modular division also. So this is example 4. So instead of slash, you can simply say modular division. So normally how we will write A equal to A percentile 2. So this will do the division and the remainder will store into the A. So here also it will do the same thing. So when you print A value, what is an output you will get here? This is modular division operator. 2 5s are 10, remainder is 0. So 0 is a remainder. So these are all shortcut operators. You can also write expression like this, nothing wrong in Java. Okay, but if you look at these type of expressions somewhere, you should not be confused. Okay, you should understand that expression. So that's what I'm saying, all these things. Nothing wrong. You can use normal expression also if you're not familiar with this. It will work. Okay, these are Java specific related operators. These are all comes under assignment operators. So here equal to is a assignment operator. It will basically assign the value into the another variable. And I forgot to tell you one more operator, guys, in the relational operators. We also have a double equal to, right? So here we have seen double equal to means it will compare the two values. If both are equal, returns true. Both are not equal, return false. So now you guys can tell me what is the difference between double equal to and single equal to. Double equal to and single equal to. What is the difference between double equal to operator and single equal to operator? Double equal to is a relational operator which will be used for comparing the two values and returns true or false. Okay. Whereas equal to is a assignment operator which will assign the value into the variable. So totally different. Okay. You should not use double equal to in every place. So whenever you want to assign data, use just a single equal to. Whenever you want to compare something, you just use double equal to. Is this clear, everyone? Difference between double equal to single equal to as per Java. So double equal to is a relational operator, comparison operator. It will compare the values and returns true or false. Whereas the single equal to will just assign the value into the variable. So it is an assignment operator. Fine. So now let us move on to the last one. Conditional or ternary operator. Question mark and colon. This is called conditional or ternary operator. Question mark and colon. So how to use this? Question mark and colon. So we need to know the syntax first. And if you know the syntax, you can easily use it. So ternary operator or conditional operator we can also call. So the syntax is, first we specify the variable equal to expression question mark. Okay, and here result 1 colon result 2. So this is a syntax actually. So with this syntax, we can use ternary operator question mark colon. So here the question mark comes and here the colon comes. So this is the expression actually, the syntax. Let us see one example how to use this ternary operator and where to use. Take a new class and I'll name it as ternary operator. So very easy, just try to understand this. So what is the syntax? So this is the syntax. If you know the syntax, you can easily use it. Okay. So now let me show you one example. Example 1, how to use ternary operator. Here I'm taking two variables, int a equal to 100, b equal to 200. Int a equal to 100, b equal to 200. Now I want to find which one is largest number. I just want to print whichever largest or not. A is largest or B is largest. B is the largest number. So that we need to find through program. I don't want to directly print A and B. If I print B value, I have assumed, I have decided 200 is a largest value. No, the program should decide according to the condition. It will automatically checks which one is the largest number, and it should print as an output, largest number as an output. Okay, basically we have to first compare these two. Whichever is the greatest number, that we have to print in the console window. That's our requirement. So by using this ternary operator, we can achieve this. Just observe very carefully here. Int, I'm taking one variable called x. Just observe the syntax. The same syntax, I'm just replacing it. So first thing is what? Variable. So here I'm taking one variable, int x, equal to expression. Expression means what? The comparison. So here in the bracket, I can say 100. Okay, or I can say A, B I have taken it. So let's take A equal to 200 and B equal to 100. Anything is fine. So here I'm taking A greater than B. This is called expression. This is called comparison. So here we are comparing it. So expression. Then question mark. So result 1, result 2 is what? Result 1, I can say A, comma, result 2, I can say B, and then semicolon. So this is a complete ternary operator expression. And after writing this, you can just print the value of x. Then what will happen? So how exactly it will work? So let us try to understand this. This is our expression, right? So A value 200, B value 100. So A is a 200, B value is 100. What this expression will return, true or false? A greater than B, true or false? True. So if this expression returns true, then the first A value will be assigned to the x. Okay. If that expression returns true, the A value will assign to the x. If this expression is true, this A value will assign to the x. Then here we will get a value. So if I execute this, just observe. Okay, let me just run this. So you can see we got a 200. How we got a 200 here? So A greater than B, true or false? True. If it is a true, A value is assigned to the x. What is an A value? 200. 200 is assigned to the x. Now we got a 200 output. Okay, suppose I change that expression. A less than B. Then what will happen? Expression true or false? False. If the expression is false, then the B value assigned to the x, and then here x will print B value, which is 100. Like this. So how exactly this ternary operator works? If the expression is true, then the A value will be returned. If the expression is false, then B value will be returned to the A. So this A value will store in X. If the expression is false, B value stored in the X. So according to this, if you want to find largest of two numbers, how can we do it? You can say A greater than B. If A greater than B, A is largest. If A greater than B false, then B is the largest. So like this, we can use ternary operator. So let me show you one more example. You guys can understand. So when I execute this, this will return 100 because B is got written into X. This is one example. Let me take another example. So this time you guys can tell. Okay, let me comment this. Now, example 2. Just observe how I am writing the statement. First, tell me it is valid or not. Int x equal to, x is a variable. Okay, in the expression, I'm writing 1 equal to 1, question mark, 100 colon 200. Okay, now I'm printing the value of x. Now tell me output of the x. First of all, tell me this statement is valid or not. Is the statement valid or not? Yes or no? Line number 20, the statement is valid or not? Yes, obviously it is valid. Why? Because x is a variable, 1 equal to 1 is an expression. This will return true or false. So that expression is always written true or false. Here, which one it will return? 1 equal to 1 means true, right? So if it is a true, 100 will assign to the x. If the expression is false, 200 will assign to the x. Okay, now what is an output of x here? Obviously 100. Because condition is true, expression is true, so 100 is assigned to the x, then we got an x. So this expression is perfectly correct. Okay, now let me write another type of expression. Int x equal to, my expression is 1 equal to 2 question mark. Okay, question mark. I can say 200 colon 100. Okay, now tell me the value of x is what? What is an x value? 200 or 100? Obviously, it is 100. Why? Because this expression returns false. If the expression returns false, the 100 will assign to the x. So the x value is 100. X value is 100. Perfect. Okay, so guys, now you understood how exactly this ternary operator is working? Yes, I will show you. We can also use it for strings also. Yes. So first of all, have you understood how exactly this ternary operator is working? First, it will check the expression. If it is a true, the first value assigned to the variable. If it is a false, the second value assigned to the variable. That's how it will work. Okay, so I will show you more examples. You will understand this better. So now my requirement is, this is example 2. So example 3. So here, I will take one variable, person age. Let's say 30. I want to check this person is eligible for vote or not. I want to check this person is eligible for vote or not. Through ternary operator, I want to print eligible or not eligible, simply based on the age. So my condition is, if the person age is greater than or equal to 18, he is eligible. Is less than 18, he is not eligible. That's the condition. So how can we achieve this? Using ternary operator. Very simple. First, create a variable called result. And what could be the expression here? When he is eligible for vote, if the age is greater than or equal to 18, he is eligible for vote. So here I'm taking that variable, person age, okay, greater than or equal to 18. This is the expression. Person age is the variable I have already defined above. So this is a condition, expression, question mark. If this expression is true, what is an output I should get? Eligible. So in the double quotations you can put, because this is a string, right? Eligible, colon. If the expression is false, then what we have to get? Not eligible, semicolon. Okay. So now if you print result is a string variable now. Why? Because this will return eligible or not eligible. This is a string value. So I have to take this variable as a string. Now tell me what is an output of this? Eligible or not eligible? Eligible. Why? Because I have taken person is 30. So person is greater than or equal to 18. The expression is true. If it is a true, this part will store in the result. If it is false, not eligible will store. So when I execute, he is eligible. Suppose let us make this as 15. Now the condition become false. As soon as the condition become false, then not eligible will assign to the result. So when I execute this, you will get not eligible. Okay. So this is how we can use ternary operator. We can also achieve this by using conditional statement, if else conditions so on. So in the next classes, we will discuss that. So this is called ternary operator. Okay. So with this, we have completed all types of operators: arithmetic operators, relational or comparison operators, logical operators, increment and decrement. Again, in increment, decrement, you have pre and post increment and decrement, assignment or shorthand operators, and conditional or ternary operators. So these are the operators most commonly used in Java. Okay. So again, all these operators again divided into three categories. Okay. So One category is called unary operators. Unary operators, binary operators, ternary operators. Okay. Ternary operators. Now, what is this actually? What is unary? What is binary? What is ternary? Unary operators means those operators we can use with a single variable. The unary operator means those operators we can use with a single variable. Now, can you tell me what are the operators here we can use with single variable? Can you just tell me? What are the unary operators? Unary operators means it can be any type of operator which comes under any category, but those operators we can use with single variable. Just with single variable we can use those operators. So what are those operators we can see here? Just tell me individually. Unary operators. Just tell me symbols. So what are the operators? Unary means those operators we can use with a single variable. Remember this term, single variable. See, arithmetic operators, if we want to use, at least two variables we require, right? So when you can perform addition, at least two variables you require. When you perform subtraction, when you can perform division and modular division, at least two variables we require, right? So they are not comes under unary operators. So unary means only one we should able to apply that operator only on single variable. So such type of operators we call it as a unary operators. Now tell me what are the unary operators? Plus plus is a unary operator, right? Just single variable we require. Minus minus is also unary operator because single variable we required. Same thing, plus equal to, minus equal to, okay, star equal to, slash equal to, and modular division equal to. So to use these operators, we need only just the one single variable is enough. Right or wrong? Single variable is enough or not to use these operators? Plus plus, minus minus, plus minus plus, star equal to, slash equal to. So to use these operators, just one variable is required. So these are all comes under unary operators. Okay, even equal to also, single equal to, okay, and not. These operators we can use with single variable. So we can call them as unary operators. Now, binary operators. Tell me, what are the binary operators? At least two variables we should have. So if we want to use these operators, at least two variables we should have. So what are those operators? What are those two variables? You must have two variables if you want to use binary operators. All arithmetic operators we comes under binary operators because two variables at least we require. Similarly, all relational operators also comes under binary because at least two values we require to compare, right? Two values at least we need to compare. So all relational operators comes under binary operators. Next, what next? Arithmetic operators, arithmetic operators, relational operators. What else? Logical operators. These two comes under binary, but not comes under binary. Not is comes under unary because only one single variable is required. Two variables not required. But if you want to use AND or, at least two Boolean variables are required, right? So AND or also comes under binary operator, right? So these are all comes under binary operators. At least two variables we required to use these operators. Now, finally, we have only one ternary operator. Three variables required at least. Three variables. Three variables required, which is ternary operator, colon, semicolon. In this, three variables are required. So three variables in the sense what? If I look at this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, three things are required. If I look at the expression, this is one variable, this is second, this is third. If you have these three, then only we can use ternary operator, right? So ternary means 3, binary means 2, unary means 1. So unary operators we can use with single variable, binary operators we can use with the 2 variables, ternary operator we can use with the 3 variables. Okay, so these are all about operators concept. So these are all fundamental, very basic, very fundamental concepts. You have to practice a lot. So if you're not practicing these things, upcoming sessions or upcoming concepts, you cannot understand. The coming sessions, we will discuss conditional statement, looping statement, so many things, so many examples. These are all fundamentals. If you're not understood this, you cannot understand further concepts. So you have to practice this multiple times. You need to be aware of this. Okay. So clear, everyone? Please confirm in the chat window once again. Operators concept. Right? So let us stop here for today's session and do this practice. And I will give one assignment based on this topic, yesterday topic and today's topic. Yesterday we discussed about variables and data types, and today we discussed about operators. Now, based on that, I will give you one small assignment. You guys can try this. I will also provide the solution for this, but this is a little different. I will tell you what exactly it is. Swapping of 2 numbers, very popular program, but I'm expecting to do this the different way. I'll tell you how can we do it. Swapping of 2 numbers. What is swapping? So what is swapping? So let me just give you a logic you guys can try. So swapping means the interchanging of values between 2 variables. For example, let's say initially I'll take A value 10, B value 20. So before swapping, the A value is a 10, B value is a 20. So after swapping, okay, I should get A value 20, B value 10 now. So these values should be interchanged. That is called swapping. You have to achieve this. Okay. So how can we achieve this? So most of the people will use a temporary variable, a simple logic they will use. For example, I have, let's say 3 containers. Let us say this is A, this is B, and let us take C also. C is a temporary variable. It doesn't have any value. Now initially A value 10, B value 20. Now how can we interchange these 2 values? So I have to get 20 into the A. Similarly, I want to get 10 into the B. So let us use a temporary variable called C. Take another variable called C. Now what I will do, first step, I will assign A value into the C. Okay, then what will happen? A value into the C. Now C value becomes 10. Second, this is the first step. Second step, I will assign B value into the A. B value into the second step. So I will assign B value into the A. Then what happens? The 20 will assign to the A. Now A value will replace it with the 20. Then third step, I will assign the C value into the B. Third step. Now if I assign C value into the B, then what will happen? C value is currently value of C is what? 10. 10 will assign to the B. Now this will over replaced with the 10. Now after executing these 3 statements, now what is the current value of A? 20. Current value of B? 10. The values are interchanged or not? Yes. This is called swapping. Okay. So by writing these 3 statements, initially you take A value and B value something. After execution of these 3 statements, if I print A value and B value, the swapping is done. Okay. This is the most common, very popular solution. Everywhere you can see this. But I don't want to do like this without using temporary variable. I don't want to use this temporary variable. So without using this temporary variable, just by using operators, arithmetic operators, okay, just by using arithmetic operators, without using any temporary variable, just by using arithmetic operators, you can do that. Swapping technique, swapping of 2 numbers without using temporary variable. So you guys can try this. Think about this logic. How can we do this? And if you Google it, you can find the solution in many places. There are so many solutions are there without using temporary variable. Almost 4 to 5 different solutions are there. But I ask you guys can guess and you guys can check the logic and accordingly you can try this. And for the solution, I will share a small video here. I will just share small video link here. You can just go to that video and you can understand the solution. I have given almost 3 to 4 different ways we can do the swapping. Okay. So you guys can use whatever you want. That is up to you. Don't ask me now. Okay. You can use any way other than the temporary variable. There are 4 to 5 different ways are there. You can find out. At least 1 or 2 ways you guys can. At least one. Okay. Any approach is fine. But other than using temporary variable. So don't use temporary variable. Other than using temporary variable, that approach, you can try any other approaches. You can use plus minus operators. You can use star slash operators. A different type of arithmetic operation. You can use combination of those operators. But you don't want to create any other variables. Just A and B. Only 2 variables you have to create and you should be able to swap. No temporary variable. Without temporary variable. Just A and B. Only 2 variables you have to create. And we have to do the swapping. So here I have given the link. This is the link. You can just go through this link. Okay. And I have explained all the approaches in this video. First, you try yourself. Okay. And if you're not able to get the logic, then go to the video. You can understand the logic and you guys can do that. Okay. So here in the notes, I provided this link solution. You guys can refer this. This is a assignment for today's session. And slowly I'll try to increase assignments also and day by day, because once you start learning more concepts, I will try to give more number of assignments. Fine. That's it. So this is a topic for today and tomorrow we'll continue with another topic. Okay.